We've got one more guest for you. It's Randall Behrens, Senior Loan Officer with Live Oak Bank. Randall, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So for our viewers who may not be familiar with Live Oak Bank, can you sort of give them the quick and dirty on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as far as banks go, we're pretty interesting and unique. We are an industry-specific lender. We lend into about 20 what we call verticals, and then we have a team of specialists who focus on lending just in that space. The wine and craft beverage team, which is the team that I'm fortunate enough to be a part of, all we do is we lend to wineries, breweries, and distilleries, and we do it throughout all 50 states. We are also the largest SBA lender in the country, and we've been able to leverage the SBA guarantee to help us provide higher advance rates and longer loan terms and amortization, which I think are two really key attributes to our product that makes it fit so well for craft brewers and why we've been so successful.
Awesome. We've seen a lot of headwinds. It's been a little choppy out there. There have been foreclosures, there have been closings, there have been bankruptcies. It's a different market than we've seen when there was, double-digit growth year after year. Craft growth has slowed. So I'm curious to know, what is the climate like currently for lending?
Sure. I think from a macro standpoint, the overall lending environment is really strong. There's a ton of capital in the market, and banks are competing aggressively for good loans. And rates have come up a little bit in the last 18 months or so, but historically speaking, the price of capital is still low. So low cost of capital, a lot of capital available. These are very good things for small business owners. But speaking specifically to craft, yeah, there has been an obvious change. You come to events like this, and there's fewer bankers walking around than there were a couple years ago. And that's for good reason. Like you said, there's been some high-profile closures. The data shows that the industry is slowing, but I think more importantly, there's fewer lending opportunities. A lot of expansion has happened over the last few years. I think there's some excess capacity in the market. And fewer breweries are going through those big expansions right now. So for those reasons, yeah, there has been a slowdown, and I think that's reasonable to expect, that banks are going to look a little more conservatively at projections and how these breweries are going to grow, and are they going to be able to get into different markets, all the challenges that we've seen as you get to a certain production level. But for us, our strategy hasn't changed from day one. We're still looking to partner with well-managed breweries who are consistently growing and have sort of shown an understanding of how to manage the bottom line. But I think no matter where you're at in your growth phase, it's more important than ever to work with a lender who understands the space.
Well, I was going to say, you're here, so obviously you're not feeling too conservative at the moment.
No, we are still very much committed to helping the space grow, and we still think there's a lot of opportunity.
You gave a little bit of an overview of sort of the brewery partners that you're looking to work with, but could you give us a little more information on sort of the characteristics of, someone that you'd like to sort of hook up with?
Yeah, we see, the loan requests that come in for us typically fit into three major buckets. It's either a startup, or some sort of a debt restructuring, a refinance to help improve cash flow, or it's an expansion request, and that's been our bread and butter. We're really, that's our target. We want to get involved with breweries who are going through that first big major expansion. Again, the SBA program fits very well into that. And what we're looking for, the characteristics are, we want to see that they've been able to grow consistently year over year, that they're at or near full production capacity. And the only way for them to continue on that trajectory is to acquire more space and put in a bigger brew house. And obviously, their ability to report net operating profits is also important. Understanding that when we're getting involved in an expansion like this, the repayment of that new debt is going to be largely reliant on projections from the expansion, which is where the business plan comes in. And we do focus heavily on the business plan. Things that we're looking for from a business plan, we really want to see that the narrative supporting assumptions that are in that plan are somewhat consistent with what you've done historically. Our philosophy is we never want to put a small business in a position to fail. And adding a big, huge chunk of debt onto the balance sheet and putting a big monthly payment in place can be damaging to that brewery if they don't hit their projections. And we're very careful to not put them in that position. And that strategy's worked out really well for us. We've had a lot of success in the space, and it's been so much fun watching a lot of these breweries that we've helped to continue to grow and thrive, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We're still very much committed to the space.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Randall. I appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
I want to thank our sponsors, Live Oak Bank, Vicinity Brew, and Headset. And we got to kick it back to Chris Fernari on the main stage.